everyone, Libby here. Hope you guys are having a good day. Today I've come to talk to you about how to get started with the vegetarian diet. This was requested by an online friend who recently saw a video that I shared on Facebook and on my blog about factory farming in Australia, and she was saying that she already buys a lot of free range food, but the next step for her is to go vegetarian, but she just doesn't know how to go about it. She's a single mum with 2 teenage kids and just really isn't quite sure how to go about it. So basically I thought I would share my story and share with you how I think would be a good way to get started with a vegetarian diet. So I've been a vegetarian now for 8 years, and the main reason I became a vegetarian was I don't like the way animals are treated and animals are raised for food. So I get along the lines of factory farming. I never agreed with that. I didn't like that. At the time there was very little you could get very little free range meat in Australia. And odd time you could find free range chicken, but that was about it. And you could get the free range eggs, and that was it. The rest was all pretty much factory farm meat. And for years I said to Kevin, my husband, I said, if only I had a personal chef, I'd become a vegetarian, because like my friend, I just thought it was too hard and I put it in the too hard basket. And eventually he got sick of me saying this all the time, if only I had a personal chef. And he said, well, why don't you just do it? And I said, it's too hard. I'm not going to cook 2 dinners every night. At that stage my girls were 5 and 3. And I said, I'm not going to cook 2 different dinners every night. He goes, I'll eat vegetarian. Just cook and I'll eat it. And I said, okay. And that was that. It was as simple as that, because to me it's an ethical reason for not eating meat. Some people, it might be an environmental reason, it might be a health reason. It's all different reasons, and I'm not going to go into all the reasons why you should have a vegetarian diet. I will put some links below so that if it's something that you're thinking maybe but aren't sure, haven't yet sort of had that final push to convert to vegetarian, I'll put some links below. Even if you're not a vegetarian and you don't want to go vegetarian, you should always eat more vegetarian meals and have less meat meals. So hopefully even you guys can get something out of this video. The number one tip I have for you is you do need to make a commitment to a vegetarian diet. Even if you want to give yourself, particularly for health reasons, you might want to say, okay, I'm going to try this for a month or 2 months and then evaluate at the end of that. I do think you have to make the commitment. As I said, with my family, it was just, yeah, okay, we're doing this, and it was ethical reasons for me, so that never changed. But I remember when I did start, I did say, maybe when I go to friends' places, I'll still have meat, because at that stage I thought it was going to be too difficult to be a vegetarian out and about, but it's really not at all. I've never really had any issues, and I've never eaten meat since that conversation with my husband, or never knowingly eaten meat, I should say, since I had that conversation with my husband. So. And I don't miss it at all. So commit to it. And I think as part of a commitment, it's a good idea to list your own reasons. So that if perhaps it's health reasons, you might sort of falter a bit on that. You might go, oh, maybe it's not worth it. But if you've got your reasons and your time commitment, then I think that's a good starting point to have. And then if you do waver in particular, I mean, I like meat. I love meat, and I always say we had it nearly every day. But I had a strong reason not to eat meat anymore, and my husband made it easy for me by saying he'd go along with our dinners. If I was doing it again, I would probably still do it for myself, and I know a lot of people vegetarian do have to cook meat for partners and kids or whatever, and I think now I could do that, but it's certainly easy if you can get everyone on board. Now, I'm going to just approach this video as we're going on a vegetarian diet. And if there's any interest and you want to know more about perhaps only you're going vegetarian, the family's not, let me know, and I'll maybe do another video on how you could deal with that. But I don't want this video to get too long. So after I made the commitment and said, okay, we're going to do that, the first thing I did, I went through my recipe books and I made a list of all the meals that I already cooked and enjoyed that were vegetarian. And it was actually surprisingly quite a list. I mean, I probably had maybe 6-7 meals already that I could say, yes, we like them and they're vegetarian. So I should probably clarify that I'm a lacto-ovo vegetarian. So I do eat eggs. We now have our own chickens. Before that I used to buy free range eggs, and we do have dairy. So it certainly is, again, an easier step than being a vegan, which I have tried, and haven't been successful with, but may try again one day in the future. But we've got our own eggies, so we like to eat them. So yeah, make your list of your meals, and you'll probably be surprised, hopefully surprised, that you already have a few that are family favourites. Even if you just had 2 or 3, that's a starting point, and that gives you a few meals to get going with. I then suggest that you set another goal to try 1 to 2 new recipes a week. So the next idea I have for you is to go borrow some books from the library. There's quite a few introduction vegetarian books, so you can go to the library, you can borrow some books. There's also lots of blogs and websites, and I'm sure if you typed in starting a vegetarian diet, you'll come up with a heap. So you can get some good ideas. You might already follow a few blogs, like mine, that has quite a few vegetarian recipes on it. The thing to remember is most meals can be modified to become vegetarian, and that's it. The other thing to do is to go through recipes and have a look. Soy is a very controversial product. I do have some soy, but I try not to have too much. So I might have 1 or 2 soy meals a week, maybe maximum 1 or 2 probably. Another product that I like is Quorn, which is it's actually a fungus. So that's a great product you buy frozen. And actually I've seen now in Coles, Coles at least, some fridge Quorn products. If you've got spaghetti bolognese, I just use TVP or the Quorn mince instead. For chicken, you can use the Quorn fillets, and there's another soy product that's really nice. I hope I've still got one here to show you. It's very chicken-like, as in chicken fillet strips. The thing about the fake meats is they don't actually taste like meat, but they have that texture of meat, so that most of them don't actually have a lot of flavour on their own, so they do need to be with a sauce. Or seasoned in some way, but you can modify a lot of meals. Fish meals I haven't really worked out how to modify. Actually, no, I lie. We have a salmon quiche, and I just put in, what I put in that one instead of the salmon, I put in creamed corn, and we changed it to a corn quiche. So get a little bit creative, and I'm sure you can modify a number of your recipes. Now the biggest thing people think when they're becoming vegetarian is, where am I going to get my protein from? Now if you're an lacto-ovo-vegetarian like myself, it's easy because you get your eggs and you get your dairy, so you get a lot of protein in both of those forms. I would say I have an egg most days, not every day, but most days I have an egg, and I think, well, that's a good source of protein to start with. Protein shakes are another one. You do need to get a good source of protein, so either a whey protein isolate or a brown rice protein shake. I will show you the one that I use at the moment, but I do order it from America. But it's a really good nutritional one. You've got your seeds, your nuts, your pulses, so your beans, chickpeas, lentils, all those are a great source of protein. Spinach, can't forget your greens because they've got lots of protein in them too. Brown rice and quinoa. Quinoa, if you haven't heard of it, it's a little grain. It's very, very nice, and it's actually a complete protein. So it's got your protein and your carbohydrates, so it's a really good source of protein, and it's really yummy, and you just use it like you would rice. So that's a great product to have. So you don't really need to, as long as you're having a varied diet, I don't really think you need to eat protein too much. So you do need to remember the importance of your fruits and your vegetables and your greens. They're really important in any diet, not just a vegetarian diet, but they're probably especially important in a vegetarian diet. No, they're important in every diet. So things like soups are great. So for lunch, I usually always have a salad or a soup. So it's actually 3 S's. Soup, salads and smoothies are great sources of your fruit and vegetables, and a great way to get them into your diet. If you don't want to eat a heap of fruit or a big pile of spinach, put them all into a smoothie. You can use either water, almond milk, or just your normal milk, and create a really yummy smoothie. I always say I have a green smoothie most days. And you can put a big handful of spinach in, and you can't even taste it, baby spinach, and you can't even taste it. And then you've had a lot of greens which have got protein in them as amongst other things. So, and your soups, you can put all your vegetables into your soup and they were chunky or blended up. So perhaps not great soup weather now in Australia, it's getting warm, but in the winter or the cooler nights, so I'll have soup all year round. So soups are a great way of getting lots of vegetables in. You can make lentil soup, so you get your lentils in. You can just have vegetable soup and throw a handful of lentils in, or things like your barley, and just variety is what you want to have. And salads, obviously a great way to get all your raw vegetables into a salad. Make sure you get a good quality lettuce, not iceberg lettuce. There's no nutrition in iceberg lettuce, so but there's so many varieties of lettuce. So get yourself some good lettuce, cut up some baby spinach, you chop that in as well. Put in your tomatoes, your cucumbers, capsicum, cauliflower, corn. I like to add in pineapple into my salads, and then you can put in some pine nuts or cashew nuts, whatever kind of nuts you like, or some seeds, some pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. Add a source of protein as well, boiled egg. I often like to put falafels in mine. Veggie burger cut up. A veggie burger is another great food too to have. I will go through my fridge and hope I've got everything in there. So all sorts, I think I often make a taco salad. Sure, use if I have tacos the night before. I've still got some of the fake taco TVP mince, and I'll put that with the salad and with salsa. If I'm not having the salsa, hummus. Hummus again, a great food for vegetarians because you've got your chickpeas in there. So yeah, so there is lots of good ideas. Doesn't even probably take too long. They say, so sit down and write down some foods you like. And there's so many more vegetarian choices available now in the supermarket to what when I was a vegetarian. Started becoming a vegetarian when I became a vegetarian 8 years ago. There's just so much more available now. And every day I go and every week I go to the supermarket, I've got new products. So you've got the corn things coming out, and there just seems to be more and more. And foods are getting healthier now that people are becoming aware of things. You can get your baby spinach everywhere now, and kale is also starting to coming to our supermarkets locally as well, which is great because it's another really great food to have. So hopefully this has given you a really good starting point of how to go, giving you really good ideas about how to start a vegetarian diet. And now I'm going to take you into the kitchen and show you what I have as sort of staple standby foods. Okay, let's go.